watching The Arielle Show. I'm Arielle. Today I'm going to be sharing with you some things that will help you hopefully be more social. This is something that I constantly have to be working on. It's not something I'm super good at. I'm usually quite socially awkward, like that's my natural default. I have a weird sense of humor and I have a hard time doing those meaningless interactions where it's just, the hey, how are you? Good, how are you? Like BS. I only like to have really meaningful, deep interactions, and that can cost me because what that means is I'm missing out on a whole host of other opportunities for connections with just everyday people. That isn't going to be, this deep BFF soulmate thing, but that's okay. And so if there are any of you watching that are like me and feel that way, or any introverts, I too am an introvert, which means I get my energy from being by myself instead of with other people. So what I'm saying is these tips are for those of us who kind of suck at this. I'm not like a pro teaching you how it's done. I'm coming at it from a place of I've had to learn, and here I am giving my very best tips to you. Okay, first up is always assume the best in others. If people are coming up and talking to you, don't just assume that they have an ulterior motive or they're gonna make fun of you after the conversation. Just assume that people are generally nice and people generally want to get to know you and that you're an awesome person and they're an awesome person too. Now, here's the thing where this has been kind of a challenge for me and a lot of my other girlfriends that I know. Growing up as women, we have had to be so guarded because there's a lot of random dudes that have these interactions with us and they do have an ulterior motive. And so a lot of times we as women have learned to be guarded, learned to shut down, learn to be the bitch when we have to be, because otherwise we find the conversations going in a direction that we're not ready for it to go. And so we've learned just to not put up with any kind of BS. But unfortunately, that means that skin that we've created means that other people can't get in. And so sometimes you have to just drop the guard a little bit. You have to be willing to maybe have the conversation go in ways that you weren't ready for and then just back off. But when you do that, you're also going to open yourself up to a host of other possible conversations and communications and interactions and relationships that people don't have an ulterior motive. So just keep that in mind when you're going through this. Not everyone wants something from you other than the chance to just connect with you, just to get to know you because you're so awesome. So start by being social in low-risk situations. There are some interactions where the stakes are high, you can't screw this up. It may be like a business meeting, maybe like a first date, you really want it to go well. But when it's just this low-risk interaction, that's where you want to try new things, play around, have fun, take risks, grow that muscle. And I find the perfect place to do that is with everyday customer service cashier interactions. When you're walking up to the counter and someone is checking you out, someone's taking your order, don't just keep your head down and just spit out your order and leave. Make it meaningful. Try to make a connection. Try to make them laugh without being annoying. If they're not feeling it, then whatever, let them be. But if they're open to it, if they're being nice, answer their questions. Ask them how their day is doing. Have fun with it. And I've been trying to make this more of a game in my life lately where it's every time I come in contact with a person, I'm gonna try to create even just the tiniest sliver of meaningful connection and interaction. So maybe try that. Every time that you have the opportunity to create an interaction, take that opportunity, run with it, see if you can make the other person laugh, see if you can walk away just feeling good about life and about the connection that you just made. And I would caution you to don't get stuck in your own head. This is something that most of us are guilty of doing. We'll be talking with someone, we want to make a good first impression, and so the whole time we're having a running conversation and a monologue in our own head thinking, oh my God, that was so stupid. Oh my God, did they think I meant this? Oh, I should have said it like this. And we're just beating ourselves up the whole time. So be kind to yourself, have compassion on yourself, and just chill out. Take a breath. It's not that big of a deal. We're human beings. We talk to each other. Don't let your social anxiety get the best of you. Don't go down that mental rabbit hole because it's once you pop, you just can't stop. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be intentional, just be present, be in the moment. It's great practice for everyday life, and have fun. And in those situations where you are maybe at a dinner table with a bunch of people, you want to start conversations, you want to have those meaningful connections, I would say to be willing to make it about another person. I think sometimes we want to impress people. We want people to know all the cool stuff that we've done or that we're up to. We want people to ask questions about us. But you know what? That's not how it works. You have to be the one asking the questions. Most of us are stuck in our own shells, and we're not going to come out until someone kind of guides us out. So you and me, we need to learn to be the people that guide people out of their shells, that ask the questions, that find common ground, that have genuine interest. And genuine is important. If you're just faking the interaction just to play around with it, it's not going to be meaningful. It's not really going to work. It's not really going to matter. And so try to care about them and their life. Try to have empathy. Put yourself in their shoes when they're telling their story and imagine how that must have felt. And that's going to put you in this great place to ask the right questions, to make those connections. And you might find that you genuinely are really starting to love this person and have that connection, and you guys might be BFFs. Who knows? I hope that gives you some ideas of how to be more social. Just remember, don't freak out. It's not a big deal. I think most people have dealt with some sort of social anxiety, and you can learn this. This is something that you can learn. It's not like where you're born without having social skills and then you can't learn them. No one's born with these natural social skills. You have to pay attention. And so if you have a friend that's like awesome at this, watch them, learn from them, see what kind of stuff you can pick up. Pretty soon, you'll be the awesome friend that everyone else is learning from. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for being here. I love you always. Subscribe here so you can see next week's video, and I will see you next week. Bye.